Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Cackling Pumpkins, where you're doing another Sketchpad video. I'm only going to be recording the last 3 for a while. Good news about this series is that since I'm always drawing, there's always going to be Sketchpads to go through, but we're getting to the point where we're getting a little too recent. My cutoff is 2019. I don't want to do anything too recent to that, because 2019 is still very fresh in my memory. I'd rather, go back to when memory isn't really as fresh. You know what I mean? So let's begin. This, I believe, is from either late 2017, at least around 2017, I think, before all the 2018 mini ones. This could also come during the 2018 period, but I'm pretty sure this is 2017. This is unfinished work of Void of Space. Obviously, I didn't finish it because it wasn't that good. I even tried to use a ruler to draw one of his legs. Here's random artwork for, I guess, a tug-based karting game. Not really that unique from the looks of it. I guess everyone would have their own unique vehicles, though, because Blake is on a fucking unicycle. I think this is before I even decided to change his name to Blake. There's just some generic Birdman. Never got completed. This could be possibly related to the messenger in the sky from Crimson Kingdom lore. Not exactly sure. Here's unfinished artwork of, I guess, a Ben 10 alien, because it's got the Omnitrix symbol. I'm not sure what his thing was all about. He had crystals, obviously, and gems. So, I guess his power would have revolved around those gems, or maybe that was just a visual flare. I can't exactly remember. Perhaps maybe the gems would be different colors, and using different gems would result in different effects. Couldn't tell you. Oh yeah, this is an incomplete remake of, let's say, Armor Guard from the very first episode here. Obviously, I wasn't too happy with him, so I kind of quit on that. But what's under here is a joke I was going to call, Pickle Rick? This is probably around the time that was new, and I was about to make... there's a drawing here called Pickle Dick, and it was just Rick if he was a penis, so I can't show that, obviously. This is me, I guess, experimenting with other styles, with this weird demon man. This is the point in time when I was getting more into Western inspirations, but I wasn't exactly sure how to fully implement it. This is, I guess, meant to be a Nightmare Alice, but a very uninspired one. There's not really much that's unique for Alice here. It's just kind of like random creepy tropes, like big smile, black eyes. There's not really much that's distinctly Alice here. Obviously, this is before I made like an entire series where I drew famous characters and turned them into monsters, because nowadays I use, the aspects of their stories and personalities to create their designs rather than just implementing generic horror themes. Most of the time, anyway. Same thing here with Timmy Turner. Just generic theme after generic theme, sharp teeth, bleeding eyes, Cosmo Wonder, I guess our SCP fucking... Oh god, I forgot the thing already. The red face. Smile dog, I don't know. This is a point in time when I was redesigning Alice, to have, like, this more bland-looking corset, but I feel as if it was easier to draw. This is before I decided to fully expose her stomach. This was still in my prude era, as you can tell. What is this? No One Survives. I guess maybe that was like a series where a lot of these kind of characters would be massacred, or this is No One, and I guess everyone else gets massacred but him. What is this? Fidget spinner sight? What does that say in the bottom right? Fidget spinner... I don't know. This is when fidget spinners were relevant, I guess. Alright, oh, this is a good one. This is when I was trying to remake Div's design, but I was obviously going for, like, a less crab version of Dr. Psychobos from Ben 10 Omniverse. And let me just go ahead and say, Dr. Psychobos is one of my favorite characters in Ben 10 Omniverse. He's just a fun character. He's fun, he's goofy, I love his design, and I use the term loosely. But obviously I just removed the crab features and gave him goopy tentacles, so he's not really that unique, unfortunately. I like the design that I have now. A sad thing about a lot of these Sketchpad videos is that there isn't really much unique to talk about. That's why it gets harder and harder throughout this series. That's why I gotta wait a bit longer to do the 2019 ones. I'd be like, oh yeah, here's this thing. I need to wait a bit more. Here's, I guess, another concept of the platform fighter I wanted to do. Here's another drawing of Alice where I just went back to doing anime again. Still, like, not really figuring out her character or personality just yet. And there's this three-headed thing, not exactly sure what he's all about, but he's alright. Not that unique, but exactly like, you could tell what I was going for, I guess. I don't know who this guy is. He's some weird cat character. And he kind of reminds me of a mix between like a Studio Ghibli film, like My Neighbor Totoro, and Big the Cat. I guess maybe like this was the point in time, I guess maybe I saw that Big the Cat concept art where he did look like a Studio Ghibli character. And I guess I was just kind of doing my own version of that. Same goes for this Venom-looking motherfucker. Not exactly sure what his deal is. Maybe this is just meant to be Venom, I don't know. I do like Venom, so... This, I think, was before, like, Venom's movie came out, so... I'm not exactly sure. When did that movie come out? I think it was 2018? Oh, here is, I guess, Cthulhu, if he was drawn as a Sonic character. And I guess this was like an unfinished version of what if Wave was a Sonic character. Someone did make a good piece of fan art of Wave. Like a fantastic piece, possibly one of my favorites. It was for a Newgrounds Secret Santa. For those who don't know, like around December, we all come together and do a Newgrounds Secret Santa. We pitch one of our OCs, and it gets sent to a random person as we receive a random OC, and we're supposed to draw them in our style, and it gets sent to them. I think it's either Christmas or Christmas Eve, and last year, someone did Wave the Fennec Fox, and quite possibly one of the best pieces I've ever seen of Wave, and the person does a lot of Sonic-related pieces, so I just felt like it was a match made in heaven, because Wave was drawn so well in that style. Way better than I could have. I admire that. I'm not sure what these bean-mouth looking characters are. I guess this was like me... me making fun of bean-mouth characters. Because honestly, they are... I'm sorry. They are ugly. Not these guys. These guys, I think, look fine, but... I'm sorry, and I don't mean to be mean to anyone who draws that kind of style, but it's just the fact that it was so oversaturated in the mid-2010s, how it especially took over in Cartoon Network, really just drove me nuts. That is an email, but that's not one I use anymore, so I have to still cover that up anyway. I just feel as if the style is ugly. I'm sorry. There's nothing really interesting about it. It feels like general cartoon style, but less interesting. But anyway, this right here is Squidge. Squidge the Dark. I made Tomska's dog as a Sonic OC. I was watching Tomska at this point in time. I don't really watch Tomska anymore. I don't know. I just don't really enjoy his content as much. It's not... I don't have anything against the guy, by all means. I don't want people to make that assumption. But I don't know. I'm fucking Spider-Man! Play Baldy! Red Room. So if there was an episode of Red Room back then where I played Baldy, this is why. I'm fucking Spider-Man! This is when Baldy was new too. Speaking of which, here he is! Here's the boy! Here's Baldy in his basics in education and learning. With his super chapped lips. And he's fucking peeved. I like this version of Baldy. I do wish there was a little bit more like cartoony aspects in his proportions, but I like him. You better get this question right. I hear every door you open. I get angry at every problem you get wrong. Snap. And speaking of getting annoyed with Beanmouth, here's Beanmouth Alice. I called her Callus Darkson. Callus Artson. I know, here's the thing, before anyone gets mad, I know CalArt, calling it the CalArt style, isn't really genuine. It's very disingenuous to call it the CalArt style. I prefer to call it the Beanmouth style because, well, look at that. Why else would you call it that? And Beanmouth style just kind of like, I feel as if it's a better description of it because it essentially, because a lot of the styles, what they have in common is this mouth and how oversimplified everything is and how overly cute it feels need to be. You know, sharp edges were illegal around this point in time. Thick outlines were illegal too. One thing that, if Alice really was drawn in this style, one thing that would change, her cleavage wouldn't be shown. Because, I don't know, as an attempt to make characters less sexualized, because I fail to see how just having cleavage makes them sexualized. We need to go ahead and make women directly ashamed of showing any part of their body that's not their privates. If you are what society would deem as attractive, you should be ashamed of yourself. And this was that point in time. Thankfully, it seems like times are fucking changing and people are not being prudes anymore. And this is when I was going through a crisis, I guess, because there's this guy, and it says, I forgot how to draw. I don't know. This guy still looks pretty alright. I don't think I was forgetting how to draw. I think it was just me realizing that there was something missing from my art. There's this gecko-looking motherfucker. Look at me. Oh, here's this guy. Look at him. I like him. I don't know what he is. A walking butt? Seems like it could be a walking butt. There is his butt right there. So he could hypothetically be a walking butt. I think this is the point in time when I discovered that movie. Oh, what is it called? Where it ends with like this weird shape-shifting body horror scene. It's one of the big body horror movies. It's, oh god, Society. It's called Society. I think. Could be wrong. Anyway, what's this? It's a rat. It's a horror rat that was eaten from the inside, but I guess he's zombified. And things like insects are living inside of him. That's pretty neat. I guess if you scaled him up, he could work as like a horror rat. A giant horror rat. Not the most unique concept, but you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ooh, here is me trying to remake one of my Ben 10 aliens called System Shock. The idea, and also Lightning Bolt at the same time. I was making them 2 in 1. The idea was that System Shock would be like the shell, while Lightning Bolt could escape the shell. They're like 2 aliens in one. One would be like a tech whiz and great with technology. The other would be generally electricity. So hey, not bad. I do kind of like how I drew him too. He's very detailed. Here was a very poorly drawn idea of like what if Sonic was a Ben 10 alien. Not the best. I could have done more. Once again, this is the point in time when I was taking more Western inspirations, but not exactly understanding how to implement them. Here is... oh yeah, there was a Ben 10 alien that never made it into Omniverse. I think his name was Thriller Shark. And the idea was that he would have something to do with dancing. And obviously it's Killer Shark, but they put Michael Jackson's Thriller in the name. And this was my take on him. This was my take on Thriller Shark. As you can see, he's got like kind of like a Michael Jackson kind of suit. He doesn't really have that much detail. I feel like maybe I could have added like a little bit more to at least his arms. Maybe made his arms beefier, or add some more detail. Maybe give him like hair that looks kind of like Michael Jackson, or at least something that looks kind of like hair. Maybe like extra fins that are in the style of Michael Jackson's hair. But anyway, yeah, here was my take on Thriller Shark. Ooh, a little more detail in the face, like, you know, the black lines, probably put some of that there. Not bad. Not bad, me. You're getting to it, my friend. Here's this thing, Terror ASMR. I guess I was wanting to make a horror ASMR kind of thing. I'm not sure if it would be a horror story, or like an audio drama, or like a parody of ASMR videos, where I guess one guy would be talking to the mic, and horror things would start happening. Still a neat idea. This is when ASMRs were starting to get really big. This was a take on a character that I don't really use anymore, called Nightmare the Pomeranian. Originally, she was a Pomeranian, but nowadays, that character who's not really used anymore, she became a hyena. This is, I guess, the first drawing of her. Not really that interesting. I think it's just because the art doesn't really do this character any favors. Here's this guy. I guess he's meant to be inspired by Ben 10 because I don't see the Omnitrix symbol. I'm not sure exactly what his deal is. He has like smoke coming out of it. Oh, these are chemicals, I think, and he would be entirely chemical based. He's kind of neat. I kind of like him. Could use a little more detail once again, but maybe in like different places. Oh, here was me trying to draw Scarlet Fallen again for the first time in a while, but I guess she has a knife now, and she's more of a serious character. This is not like how she is normally. Scarlet Fallen is a super bubbly, energetic character, and this doesn't really do her any favors. I guess I was trying to take her in a different direction to justify her existence. But nowadays, it's just like, look, the fact that my OCs can do well just by existing. Or even just being put into the thumbnails like I do with Faith and Ash, I think shows that, yeah, she doesn't really need to change that much. Here is another incomplete drawing of an early version of Wave. Back when she didn't have her hair, back before I exaggerated her ears, tails, and figure, and when I was still in my prude era. But hey, I revealed her stomach. We're getting there. We're slowly getting there. And I guess that's it. These are all just blank pages. So, yeah, sometimes I would find a lot of sketchpads that are like this, where there's not much, really. So anyway, this was, I think, late 2017. I am pretty sure, I'm fairly certain it's late 2017, not exactly sure how late, but hey, here's another Sketchpad video. If you enjoyed the video, I hope you did, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you had a beautiful day, and I hope it gets even more beautiful. Your connection will be strange.